Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of One Piece, which is on episode 819. Now, this episode right here was actually a very good one, and I really loved it very much, and it reveals a lot about Sanji himself, especially the most important thing that made Sanji who he is his mother. Now, I'm pretty sure those of you guys who watched the anime episode will know what I'm talking about. Those of you guys who are also manga readers, I'm pretty sure all of us were waiting for this one to be anime for a long time. So, if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that Jinbei was doing his best to try to break the freaking jail book cage that Nami and Luffy is in, but it doesn't seem to work. So Jinbei decides to burn the book, and Luffy and Nami manage to get out of there before they get burned alive or something, etc. I just want to get over that scene because it was just pretty short, and Luffy tries to get his way to try to find Sanji. Not only that, we have to it that Sanji, on the other hand, sees Reiju gets put into a room and enters a room by knocking out a chess soldier and ends up talking to her on what happened, apparently. After Reiju does not remember exactly about remember exactly what happened, only remembers that she got caught in the crossfire and got shot. So we have to it that Sanji decides to tell Reiju the whole story, and Reiju, on the other hand, was pretty shocked about this, and Sanji asked her, "Do you even believe me?" And Reiju says, "Yes, of course I believe you. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything, and I think the Vinsmoke family should just die right here." Sanji was really upset about this and says, "What are you talking about? Are you really trying to die or something? I don't want that." And Reiju was actually touched by Sanji's worry about concern, etc. But Reiju, on the other hand, decides to convince Sanji by telling him, "You have to get out of here, not only with your Straw Hat crew members, but you have to do it for Okasan, or your mother." And therefore Sanji says, "What are you talking about?" And therefore Reiju decides to tell Sanji the whole story of why, and what happened back then. We have to it that a long time ago, when Reiju was born, which I do not know when, but one thing was sure, she is the oldest sister sibling of everyone else. We have to it that Reiju explains that mother and father would be ending up fighting each other, and we get to know that Sora was trying to talk out Vinsmoke Judge by telling him, "Are you crazy? You're trying to get rid of their emotions? I do not want that. They will no longer be human." And Judge, on the other hand, says, "Let them be monsters then, because you know what? I want them to win wars and battles. I want them to help us and win the history of the Vinsmoke name, or just making sure that they fulfill that legacy of the Vinsmoke conquering the North Blue." And he forced Sora to go through the surgery that will make him non-human or superhuman in other cases, and etc. We have to it that Sora, in one last attempt, or in an attempt to stop the success of the surgery, or make sure her children becomes human, the 3 boys, or 4 boys if anything, like Ichiji, Niji, Sanji, Yonji. She decides to take a drug which is toxic, apparently, to stop the surgery effects. But apparently it did not work, except for one. So we have to it that it reveals that Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji are the only 3 children after they were born to become superhuman. Or should I say, yeah, superhuman, and become heartless, wretched people. Except with the exception of Sanji. The doctor realizes eventually, as they see Sanji's growth, he's starting to be more human every time. And we have to it that Sora talks about Sanji to Reiju in the past by telling him, "Sanji's the best kid. He tells me get well soon, He's the best kid ever." And therefore, Sora, on the other hand, decides to tell Reiju one last sentence or couple words by telling him I won't be able to see you guys grow up any further, I'm sorry. And therefore she ends up giving a smile, and eventually she passed away, and Sanji cries greatly. And we have to it that Judge tries to tell Sanji, "You can't just give any compassion to those who are dead right now, Sanji." And therefore, Sanji was really upset about this and wanted to maybe hit his father. But we have to it that Yonji, Ichiji, and Niji beats up Sanji for being a baby, for losing his mother. Which they don't even realize that, well, I hope they realize that it's their mother too. But because like the surgery was successful on Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji, they just don't give two f***s, you know? And that's when Judge, on the other hand, blames Sanji for everything of what happened and tries to like and becomes way harder on Sanji so he doesn't become so weak. But Sanji in the end does not become strong in the end because he was turned human because of Sora's sacrifice. I mean, we all know Sora died because like she took a drug and the side effects were pretty fatal. Eventually, it weakened her body to a point that she died of a young age that she was unable to see her children grow into fine people. Of course, that's when Reiju explains to Sanji, after explaining him about the past of what Sora did by telling him, because of Sora's sacrifice, I don't want you to feel any guilt about it. And your mother, my mother, had no remorse, and that you were a success in her eyes compared to our father. Sanji might have been a failure to Vince Smoke Judge's eyes, but it was a success for Sora herself. So even though it did not make a major change of effect for all four of our boys or children, it still made one good hope come about for Sanji himself. And because Sora sacrificed, despite the fact that it weakened her and was about to kill her, and it did kill her in the end, she still had no remorse, and she's happy to see that Sanji is not a cruel, evil human being. So, despite the fact that only one kid was human, it was still a success for Sora herself. And that's why Reiju tries to convince Sanji, like, that's why you are kinder than everyone else, and you must live on, not just for me, but for mother as well. You have to go, etc. And the episode ends off with Reiju telling him that. Or telling him that you are more kinder than anyone, and that's why you are a success in Sora's eyes. Or mother's eyes. So, yeah, this episode was pretty emotional because, like, Sora did everything she can to save her children from being monsters, but Sanji was the only success in her, was the only manageable success, and that was a good thing for her, and she had no remorse over it. And that was phenomenal. Looking forward to the next episode because this one was just emotional. Damn. So, until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So, I'm off with Zero people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toodaloo!